What's up, everybody? It's your boy, the Italian Stallion, here for another episode of Rebels with a Cause. You know what time it is, baby. It's time for that cause, because that cause don't stop till the clock hits zero. Gonna have a really quick action-packed 1 hour show. Stallion's gonna be on the road this week. Got some business he's got to take care of in North Carolina. But you know, just how things are going, a lot going on right now and so forth, and got a lot to talk about tonight. First and foremost, got to give a shout out to the Rebels, the Running Rebels basketball team, going on the road and getting it done against Maryville, team that's kind of been a thorn in their side. They got beat by them, got swept last year by them, and got it done this year, which I'm really excited. And you know, all I can think of is that you know, maybe that might be the game that gets this thing going, because after what happened Friday night, and I know it's a tough district, but at the same time, I think so much of this team that you know, you got to bring it every night, because you're going to get everybody's best shot. But it's the consistency that you've got to bring in the district, like what we play in. But you know, and the thing is you got a big win tonight. You got to bring it Friday against William Blount, not get caught up in the moment, looking ahead to what's at Tuesday night next week against Bearden. So you know, this is playoff time to get the seedings and that district tournament. You want to be that first district tournament team for West that hasn't won it 25 years, man. 25 years, that's a long drought. So you know, I still believe that you guys can get it done, and I can't wait to talk about the win tonight with Two Pair when I bring him on. You know, first and foremost, I do have a couple of housekeeping things I want to do. Most and foremost, I want to say that the views and opinions of this program are not affiliated with those of any other organization or of West High School. This is solely the opinions of the RWAC crew. That is myself, the Italian Stallion, Two Pair Tate, Brian Tate, and our coach, the stats man himself, Mr. Shane O'Mac. Also, if you are in the chat box, definitely contribute. You know, hit that like and subscribe button. And if we've said something wrong, definitely point us out. We want to be as accurate as anything. And I want to correct myself on something I said in last week's show. I said that West had won all their games when they scored 70 or more. And that's not entirely accurate, because not counting tonight, West won a slugfest against Fulton in the Ville tournament where they did not get to 70 points. So I want to correct myself in that that the 70 was the magic number. It just seems that the majority of their games, with the exception of tonight and the Fulton win, 70 is that number. And when they don't get there, henceforth, that you only scored 45 points against Hardin Valley, missed a lot of free throws, that's where you know, you don't get that W in that column. That being said, though, also want to give a shout out to the Chamber, King's Chamber, the gals over there, Miss Kim Castle, Miss Rachel Davis. Let them know that Rebels with a Cause sent you. They will take care of you. Haircuts, beard trims, massages, pedicures, manicures, get you a couple tasty beverages. They definitely make you feel like a king and give you that royal treatment over there. Also, got to give some love to our class of 2003 grad, Mr. Alex Thatcher, and his Knoxville Coffee Company, that great brew there on the heart of Marble City, right off of Sutherland Avenue. It's good any time of the day. And I'll tell you one thing, you're going to need some coffee tomorrow, because I think it's going to be like 7 degrees when you wake up. So, oof. But definitely pay him a visit. It'll make you feel good. No doubt about it. Also got to give some love to the Big Fact Sports Network. Follow 332 Studios, our very own Mr. Two Pair Tate. He is doing some magical things with that, and I know that he will love your support. So definitely check him out there. And also, you know, our guy, the coach, Shane McGee, if you've got something going on with the electrical needs, definitely hit him up. I mean, this is the time when things are going to be breaking down, and you can't have that happen, especially with this cold coming. So definitely hit him up. I'm sure he'll get you taken care of one way or the other. True rebel with a cause. Everybody rebels with a cause. That being said, I got to bring on my co-host, because we got some serious business to talk about tonight. Lot to cover. Not so much time, but you know we're going to bring it, because that's what we do. Rebels with a cause. But I got to give him that proper introduction. So if you're watching this live or recorded, hit that like and subscribe button. Show him the respect and love he ultimately deserves. He is known as the Mr. 2003 West, and that's a title that will never be taken from him. He is also known as the voice of the running Rebels and Lady Rebels for 19 years now. Next year is going to be the Big 20. That's a generation if you're not counting. Also, he is the voice of the Panthers and Lady Panthers in their inaugural season of basketball. I'm sure he's entertaining that crowd. Hell, you give him a mic, he entertains you regardless. Got to bring him on. My favorite Florida State Seminole, my brother, my one and only two-pair Tate. Brian Tate, what is up, baby? How you doing? Brian, you there? Brian, are you there? I'm wondering if he's having some technical difficulties. Huh. Brian, are you there? I lost him. I lost him. Well, while I'm waiting for him to come back on, it happened tonight in Maryville on the road. West gets it done 65-53. I don't have any player stats at the moment. I just definitely know that it must have been a game all the way around for the boys to get it done on the road against a very talented Maryville team. One thing I will say about Maryville, last week they got blown out by a very, very good Bearden team who's number one in the district that flexed their muscles. And, Maryville, came back and beat William Blount last Friday, and then of course hosted West tonight. And obviously West gets the victory on the road. And when I do have some stats for you, I'd be more than willing to love to show them. Like I said, it's definitely something very, very special. But that being said, I just want to make sure that everybody gives the boys their props because they didn't get it done last year against them. They lost a couple of heartbreaking games, but this year they definitely got it done, and that's the most important thing more than anything. Brian's having a little bit of technical difficulties. I'm sending him the link to get back on here. So yeah, so definitely we should have him on here. Send you the link, brother. But anyway, but like I said, big props to West getting that win tonight. I'm sorry I couldn't be there. I'm getting ready to go on a business trip, so I won't be available. But if anybody's watching that chat box, definitely hit that like and subscribe button. Contribute on the chat. If you went to the game tonight, definitely tell us what the atmosphere was like. It's always nice to get a victory over Maryville, and we owed them one. And I'd been saying that for a while. So, that being said, it was a big win, especially coming off of in my opinion, and again, this is just my opinion, a disappointing loss to Hardin Valley, especially with how well we had been playing as of late against Morristown West, beating a very, very good Farragut team on the road. And also, we didn't get a chance to play Catholic again because of the snow, but still getting a big win over a very good Austin East team. And the problem is that this is our third home loss of the year. And with that's four losses on the year. One of them was in the tournament in the championship game against Lipscomb. But the truth of the matter is that you look at the games, and this one was by as many points as we had lost combined in the other games, which is kind of weird. Losing by one to Sevier County, losing ultimately, I think by 6, if I'm not mistaken, to Beard in the first go around, and free throws was the name of the game. And it looked like free throws was the reason why they didn't get it done on Friday night. 14 missed free throws. And I've got 2 pair backstage, and when he gives me the thumbs up, I'm going to bring him on and get him going and so forth, because I know he's got a lot to say about that. But that being said, we had some momentum, and I'm going to bring him on so he can talk more about this. And I want to give him that proper introduction one more time. He is the Mr. 2003 West. He is the voice of the running Rebels and Lady Rebels for 19 years. Now the voice to that repertoire he can add, the voice of the Pellissippi State Panthers and Lady Panthers. You hand him a mic, he's there to entertain, baby. That's what he does, and he knows his stuff. He's a true rebel with a cause. Hardest working guy I know. Give him some love. Show him the respect he deserves. The one, the only, my favorite Florida State Seminole, 2-pair Tate. Brian Tate, what is up, baby? There you are. You're looking good.
What's up, man? Yeah, man. I don't know. I was going through. I was having some technical difficulties. It's like I lost the. I lost. I look like I lost the stream. Can you hear me through the microphone
You
pretty
sound
well?
great. You look great. It is crisp, brother. It looks great.
All
It's
right.
fire. So
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm gonna. I might have to get me a new laptop pretty soon. I don't know. Every time I try to get on there through the StreamYard on my laptop, it's just I don't know. For some reason, it just doesn't want to cooperate with me. So there you
No,
go.
man, but you're here, man. You're here, and I know you were in Atlanta last night. Talk about
Right,
that for a second, baby. Honestly, the
man.
floor is yours. So
So yeah, I was down in Atlanta for the 17th annual Coalition DJ Music Conference. It's typically the weekend of MLK. It was just I had to do Pellissippi State
hmm
on Saturday night. I had to do West on Friday night. So Sunday I wouldn't have been able to do it just because I needed time to just, you know what I'm saying? Well, I had to do the radio show
yep.
Saturday night.
Sunday
Um
night too, right? Did you have
and
something Sunday?
Sunday
Yep.
at a Radio KCM at Knoxville Community Media downtown. So we got to show them love next week. We're gonna have to get them a banner next week. We're
Absolutely.
gonna we're gonna get them a banner.
Yeah, send me
But
the information. I'll make them a banner for sure.
man,
So
it
yeah.
was when I tell you it was one of the most humbling experiences to be there with, like, you know what I'm saying. I got to meet Jack Thriller, who's on This Is 50, comedian. I met members of the Dungeon family, Backbone and Slim Cutter Calhoun, who we grew up listening to in high school. You
Wow.
know, Trillville was there, Little Scrappy was there, OJ the Juice Man performed, Gip from Goody Mob
Wow.
performed.
Okay.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like all the stuff that we listened to. And then I've been getting props on my EPMD hoodie. Shout
Oh,
out to Eric and Parrish making dollars.
I
My
love that.
favorite, one of my favorite rap groups of all time. But yeah, man, it was just it was kind of a surreal moment, man. It was a real surreal moment to be to be in that to be in that atmosphere with so many of like your favorite artists. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? It was really cool, man.
And meanwhile,
It was
you're down
awesome.
the street from the national championship game going on last night. I
I'm
mean,
right
my
there in the national
goodness.
championship game. Yeah. So
Wow.
I'm watching the game while I'm at the concert. And everybody's like, why are you I'm like, man, I'm football all day. I will
Yeah.
watch.
Yeah.
I was like, do you understand? After February, there's no more football. I mean,
Mhm.
yeah, there is. There's USF, I mean, UFL,
Mhm.
UFL, the USFL and XFL combined
Mhm.
together. But after next month, there's no more football
None.
until August.
No, yeah, and we're in full swing of basketball, like I mean, we'll have March Madness in no time, the
Yeah,
projections. I mean,
yeah,
they're already talking the SEC with, 13 bids that would set the
that's gonna be
record, which is
crazy.
just crazy. And they're all beating each other up. I mean,
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
we can talk we can talk about so much stuff. I mean, like here I was, over the weekend. I Vanderbilt always plays Tennessee tough, no matter what.
Every
But
time, no
I
matter
was,
what.
it's like it was their Super Bowl, and then
Hmm.
for them to come back, and then they come back, but then Tennessee almost comes back and gets it done.
Yeah,
I
and
mean,
didn't lose position. Didn't lose position at number 6.
nope, because there were 19 teams that lost in the top
19 out of
25.
25.
Crazy.
19 out of 25 lost.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think their ceiling is a number 1 seed.
Hmm.
Their floor, they're no lower than a 2 to 3. If
Absolutely.
they're a 3, that I don't see them being 3.
Hmm.
They're 1 or 2,
Hmm.
because I think a lot that plays into this is, how do you play Florida when Florida comes to Knoxville?
Hmm. Yep. Yep.
Florida loses to Missouri in Florida, right?
Yep.
Um, Now Tennessee beats Georgia, but
Hmm.
then Tennessee loses to Vanderbilt, but then Tennessee beats Mississippi State.
Yes, yeah, and this was a
It's a
solid
bunch of
win. This was a solid
Yeah.
win
This
tonight
was a
too.
solid win. That's a good team. Josh Hubbard is
Well,
amazing over there.
I'm going to tell you this. It was a good rebounding win. I'll tell you, Saturday's going to be interesting. I don't know if Broom is playing for Auburn. I know he's been sidelined with the high ankle sprain.
Ankle sprain.
But realistically, I think Tennessee's got as great of a shot as anybody to beat Auburn Saturday night. Auburn
Yeah.
in the past has lost games where the moment was too big when game day was there,
Hmm.
and Tennessee could really flex their muscle and get another huge quad one win with this one, and make up for the loss against Florida. Honestly, like
Right.
you beat the number one team in the country. I don't care who you are, especially on the road. That is big time quality points. When they're considering the seeding come March 16th.
Tennessee needs that win though.
We need
They
that
need
win.
they need that one,
We do.
because the
Yeah.
way I see it, Auburn and Alabama, you gotta split one, you gotta beat one. You're gonna have to see them in teams like Texas A&M. You're gonna have to see them in the SEC tournament. You
Mhm.
may have to see them in the NCAA tournament, no, depending on the matchups. Just because, I mean, things can be a little quirky, when we're getting to almost the end of the season.
Mhm.
Like, this is the time where you've got to win those conference games. Like, that's what people are looking at. Like, right now, North Carolina is in a battle with Wake Forest. North Carolina needs to win this game because they're 5-2 in the conference, but they're 12-7 overall.
And
You
it's a
need
weak
North
ACC.
Carolina.
It's a weak
Very weak
ACC.
ACC.
Yeah,
Like, this ACC is weak as hell.
they
Like,
are.
we saw firsthand how weak they were when they played some of our SEC teams.
SEC almost swept. The only two that didn't get beat was Louisville and Duke. And Duke's playing some
Yeah,
good basketball right now. I mean, you
Cooper
watch Cooper
Flag
Flag,
has
dude.
been amazing. Cooper
Wow.
Flag has been fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Like, what he's really been able to do,
Hmm. And
he's
he's
just put it
young.
on.
Two pair. He's young.
Yeah,
He just turned 18. He should technically still be a senior, but he was so good he
he
foregone
reclassified.
and
Yeah,
reclassified. And then you look at their team. I mean, they play defense. I mean, they play offense too, and
what what
they're
helped
scary.
Cooper what helped Cooper was he was playing against pros this summer, during
Yes.
USA basketball.
Yep. Yep.
And if you're hanging with those guys at 18, think of what you are at 2021, because you're playing against Devin Booker, you're playing against Steph Curry, you're playing against Kevin Durant, Bam
Hmm.
Adebayo, Ron James. You're playing up against the world's best.
Hmm.
and
And they
you're
were giving him
competing.
props. I mean, and they were giving him
Yeah,
props.
yeah.
They said he belonged. I mean, he was, and the thing is that I like players too, pair that got that dog in them.
Oh
Like
yeah.
that,
Oh yeah.
like that want to win. And that's what made Michael Jordan so special, dude. He wanted to like rip your heart out and then hand it right back to you after he scored 50 points on you. Honestly, I mean,
Absolutely.
realistically, and I think that's what's been missing for so many of the players that have come and gone. I mean, listen, there's been some spectacular basketball players, but there was only one Michael Jordan. And you look at, college basketball, talk about the Vols with this. Right now, they're projected as the 2 seed in Duke's region. I would more than prefer that they maybe get that 2 seed in Iowa State's region if Iowa State holds serve, or maybe they get their own 1 seed, in
Yeah.
the Midwest. Because I would love for Tennessee to maybe get the first 2 games in Raleigh, North Carolina, looking at that pod,
Hmm.
and then you go to Indianapolis, and Indianapolis would be a great site for the Midwest or whatever. Vol fans would travel to Indianapolis for the Midwest games and everything.
Right.
Right.
Exactly.
So,
My
yeah.
fault.
Yeah. Oh no, you're fine. I mean, if we can't get Atlanta, I'd love to have the South. Oh my God,
I would
I
love
would
to have the
love to
South.
have Raleigh to Atlanta to Phoenix, but
Hmm.
realistically, until if it starts this Saturday, but you can't lose these games like to Vanderbilt and everything of that nature. I will say this: if Tennessee can hold serve at home, and they did it again tonight with Mississippi State beating them, if they can win all their home games and steal a couple on the road, I see no
Hmm.
reason why they shouldn't be the 1 seed, especially if they win the SEC tournament or something like that.
Right.
That might be what it comes down to when you're looking at the Auburns, the Alabamas, and the
Hmm.
Vols. I mean,
Hmm.
that's what I think when you look at those 3 teams. Maybe even throw Florida in there if they continue to be successful with the wins that they are getting and so forth. It's just a bloodbath of a league, man. It is just a bloodbath of a league. So no doubt about
Man, it is. It is. It is one of the. It's one of the. It's one of the toughest leagues by far. Like you're getting everybody's best shot every night. You have to. You have to come with it. Like
it.
if you're not in your best playing shape, you're gonna struggle and you're gonna find out what it means to play top level basketball. Like
Hmm.
these dudes aren't pushovers. There's no cupcake games because there's a guy in Texas A&M named Wade Taylor who's waiting on you, waiting for you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? There's a guy in Alabama named Mark Sears who's got a partner named Grant Nelson. They
Hmm.
are waiting on you to mess up and make a mistake
Yep.
because they're gonna be on you and then they're gonna make sure like you don't find a way to win.
You know what's crazy too, Perry, and it's great that you said that. You think about this league. I feel we overestimated maybe the football of the SEC, and not and to the point to where maybe it was basketball we meant we should have been talking about for when it comes to the SEC. And I
Mm-hmm.
was watching ESPN Game Day for the basketball last week, and they were talking about on the set of how good the SEC is in basketball right now. They were talking about the 13 bids. And Jay Billis said something that was really intriguing to me. He said that back in 2016, whoever the SEC commissioner was really made it a point to make basketball just as important as football. And now you're seeing it pay off eight
Yeah,
years later. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
even last year, even the last couple years, you've seen, the SEC
yeah.
be a player in this. But now, I mean,
But you think about it, the SEC showed its dominance during Billy Donovan era.
yes, yes.
Think about the Final Fours that Florida was making. Florida made a Final Four in 2000.
Hmm.
Florida made a Final Four in what, 06,
They
07.
won both those, yeah, with Noah and that group. So,
Joakim Noah, Green, Horford, and that
yep,
bunch.
yep.
Lee Humphrey,
Lee
Chris
Ho-
Richard, Aldis Hodge. A lot of guys were on that
Yeah,
team,
they
man.
were.
They were loaded guys.
They were.
And that was an era where you saw like the SEC. It wasn't for like far as the teams like Tennessee competed.
Hmm.
around that time. I want to say Tennessee did beat a number one Memphis team in
Hmm.
2008. So it falls right along those lines when you looked at how Florida was impressive in those years. Because you got to think Billy Donovan was able to recruit such a great class. Like, I didn't think Joe Kim Noah was going to be like that his sophomore and junior
No,
year.
no, no,
Nobody
nobody,
saw
no,
that.
nobody saw that coming, man.
Nobody
Nobody
saw
did.
that coming.
No,
Like, and
no.
then Al Horford and then Corey Brewer,
Or
those
Brewer.
were the two best pros on the team. And fittingly, you have a guy like Lee Humphrey just in the fold from Maryville, who he's the guy that busts my
And who was it?
ass.
Well, and it was Torian Green that was the point
Torian
guard, right?
Green
He ran.
with the
He
point
ran the
guard.
show. I
Aldis
mean,
Hodge
th
comes off the bench.
yeah, and Richard. I mean, another big guy in Richard. I mean, they were huge. Like if you think about it, they were a team that was very hard. But the Vols found a way to beat them. The Vols were like their kryptonite. You know what I mean? The Vols were their kryptonite. But
Dane Bradshaw.
yeah, but I
I think
swear,
Dane Bradshaw only lost to him
one time, yeah, during that era,
I think
during
he
that
may
era.
have only because I felt like Dane Bradshaw beat them while they were defending champions.
Oh
Like
yeah, no, they
he
did.
had the
They
record
did.
on them.
Yeah,
Like
no, they did.
that
So yeah.
Dane Bradshaw didn't lose to Florida
No, he
much.
didn't. And that's the thing. It's just like some teams match up better with other teams, but those Florida teams were very special there. And to be fair, in even during that time, that's when the SEC was starting their string of national championships on the football side of it too. I mean, you had
Yeah.
Tebow and the Gators, you had Alabama and Saban, Auburn was very there, LSU.
LSU.
I mean, those teams were also in the mix. So the
They were the
SEC,
fixtures, man. They
yeah,
were the fixtures.
yeah. But now I just feel that I think that the coaches in the SEC are way better than any other league right now, too, Pair. I mean, you
I
look at
mean, look at it from top
yeah,
to bottom. Like,
yeah.
let's start off. Like, uh, Rick Barnes,
Rick Barnes, yep,
gonna be in the Hall of Fame.
yep.
Bruce Pearl,
Bruce
who
Pearl.
I think if he gets another Final Four or
Mm-hmm.
gets close to a natty, he
Mm-hmm.
is a bona fide Hall of Fame coach,
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
master motivator.
Yep.
Buzz Williams.
But dude, Buzz
How
Williams is
fucking
just
good is
nasty.
Buzz
He is
Williams?
just nasty, dude. Honestly,
How
he's
good
a
of a
great
coach
coach.
is Buzz Williams?
He
Buzz
is, man.
Williams is an
Hey,
incredible
look at
coach.
Virginia Tech. They hadn't done shit since he's left. He
Nope.
had Virginia Tech winning over there before he took the
Did they get
A&M
a?
job.
Did they get an
They
ACC
they
title
got
though?
the ACC tournament title,
They got
but
a
here's the thing.
sneaky one
But
though.
it was his players.
Yeah, it was
The
his
coach
players.
was using Buzz Williams players. His
Okay, I
recruits. So,
thought so because I
but
was
still,
like, I know they got one.
yeah. But that should have been Buzz's team because Buzz was over at Texas A&M. But yeah.
Mm,
But still, but once his players are gone, now you see Virginia Tech at the bottom of the ACC again. That's what you see. So yeah, for sure. I mean, it's nuts. But I'm really excited about these games. I mean, it is must see TV on Saturday.
yeah,
Honestly,
it is.
it
It
really
is
is.
total must see TV. My bad, I had to get off camera for 1 second,
No,
but
you're
it
good.
is total. It is a total. It has been SEC business, and I really think with the way they've been playing, just the hard fought defense,
Yep,
it's got to really click into their heads.
it does. It really does. So I mean, I
It's got to
Yeah, I mean, I think about the deal ESPN made, because there were a lot of SEC
be the
games
team.
last year
Mm,
on
mm,
ESPN, and I think you had a little bit on CBS, but now they're all on ESPN, and so you get all the matchups on either the SEC network,
right,
ESPNU, the Deuce, or ESPN, like I mean, it's
the
amazing that you get to
Deuce.
watch all these games, and it's like I said,
Yeah,
I'm so excited. I'm actually more excited for the basketball than I have been with the football tour because football kind of ended on a sour note, But these games have been fun to
football ended
watch,
on a
and I think it's
sour
gonna be a
note.
great March Madness. I really do. So
Football ended on a sour note, but they always played like the thing about it's treacherous because the SEC beats up on the SEC.
always, always. So yeah, Yeah, and like I said, if they get these 13 bids and set the record, I mean, surely there's a good chance that you might have two teams in the Final Four. I mean, you definitely might have some two, especially if people can stay healthy. I mean, that's the name of the game, and it's a long season.
You
And
got
let
to
me tell
stay
you this:
healthy.
the NCAA tournament, we've talked about this. That is the hardest tournament to win. Now, the last couple years, UConn had a big time amount of talent. The I think the first one that they won, it broke a certain way for them because certain teams just didn't live up to par. It was a
Yeah,
very weak Final Four. But last year, I
they
mean,
they
those
look to be
teams
the
all
better
deserved
team.
to be there, but they were head and above everybody.
Yeah.
Alabama, Purdue. I would have loved to have seen Tennessee gone against them, especially if Dalton and everybody was hitting threes to match their firepower. But at
Hmm.
the end of the day, they were the champs, and now they've fallen back a
Right.
little. Now they have fallen back a little bit, but you look at some of these other contenders. I mean, Duke, Iowa State,
Hmm.
Tennessee,
Hmm.
Alabama, Auburn, with
Hmm.
room
Hmm.
especially. So what I look at that from a standpoint that it's like it's going to be a fun March, going to be a fun February, going to be a fun March more than anything, honestly. So yeah,
Yeah, it is. It's going to be really interesting to see a lot of these teams and the journey of teams. Like I love teams to fight some type of adversity. Like right now with our Rebels, I think our Rebels they're dealing with they're dealing with so much expectation because of how many seniors are returning. But let's put things in perspective
let's
because I
do it.
feel like
Let's
we,
talk
we
about
have
them.
to do
Let's
that.
talk
Let's
about
talk
them.
about
Yeah.
let's so first off, let's talk about Mike Nelson. I don't know where Mike Nelson is, but trust me, you are in our prayers. We wondered about you. We prayed that whatever you've been dealing with um, goes to pass.
Oh, check this
And
out. Real quick, two pair. Larry Frank said, "What's up, RWAC brothers?" Snowed in because he's in Louisiana with all that
oh
snow.
yeah, yeah,
Checking
yeah.
in to show some
Juvenile snowed
support.
in.
Yeah,
Juvenile. Shout out to Juvenile. Juvenile snowed in, man.
there
Like,
you go. Yeah.
yeah. It's
Thank you,
snowing in
Larry. Love you.
Pensacola right now.
It is. It is. No, they're going to have some
It's snowing
snow
in Atlanta.
in
When I was
Atlanta.
living in Atlanta,
Yep.
it
In South
was
Carolina.
pouring snow down
Yep.
there.
Yeah. No, there's going to
Shout
be
out to
some
my
playing
guys.
snow. Yeah.
Shout out to my guys on Clubhouse, Jamal, Rab, Skinny, Pops, all my guys on the Clubhouse, man. They were talking about it. Shout out to Christian, my man out there in Clayco, south side of Atlanta. I had to get my Clayco bucket. But I want to talk about adversity.
Talk
So
about it. Yep.
there's no Mike Nelson. Like I said, whatever trials and tribulations that are going on in his life, we are here for him. Um, and I feel like we say that to our kids because at the end of the day, all you West Side kids, you guys are ours. And we're gonna be the ones to push you, motivate you, and we're also gonna keep it real with you, and we're not gonna lie to you in your face, and we're not gonna phony kick it. We don't phony kick it. Stallion, how
Not
long have I
here.
known you? How
You've
long have I
known me
known you?
now since 1999, so 25 years or
Have
30.
we ever phony kicked it? Have
Nope.
you ever felt
We've
like,
always been
damn, he's
real.
just
We've
being my
always been
friend?
straight.
Right, right. We
Yeah.
we we play it right down the middle. Shout out to my man Larry Frank. They got 8 inches of snow in New Orleans. Crazy,
That's nuts. That's nuts. Could you imagine if the Super Bowl was this week? Oh my
dude,
goodness. Like, wow.
dude,
I mean,
dude,
shoot.
dude. The snow
Woo.
bunnies. But
So
back
much.
to back. I was getting off my thought.
No, no, no.
I
No,
had to
you're good.
shout
No,
out my
no, no.
man Larry Frank.
Yeah.
Had to shout out my man
Have
Larry
to shout
Frank.
out Larry
Shout
Franks.
out to you talk.
Yeah.
Um,
And he's got his own
but
show now. He's got his own show that airs on Monday nights, by the way. I want him to plug it so I can put it on there. Plug it, Larry.
plug it,
Put it on here
plug
so we
it,
can
plug it,
show the
plug
audience
it.
to catch you on Mondays, baby. So yeah. But go ahead, two pair. Keep talking about it. So yeah.
So no Mike Nelson, no Christopher Cowan, whose
That hurt.
family,
That hurt.
yeah,
So yeah. I
because
mean,
when I say Christopher Cowan is at Carter, raising all types of hell,
yeah. Yeah.
and with his coach, and I love I love Carter's coach. Carter's coach is phenomenal. He's really put out some guys. Dalton McNew. He's really put out a great group of basketball players in the time frame that he's been at Carter. But you lose a Christopher Cowan who, in that Bearden game at West, makes
last
the
year.
biggest shot.
Yeah.
Like that shot is a part of a sweep in a regular season that hadn't happened since
Ever. I mean, 2012 when we swept them. 2012.
I knew
The
you would
only
have known
region
that.
championship. The only region
The
championship
only region
West team
championship.
in basketball.
The only region championship. And Christopher Cowan plays a big part in that Bearden. His energy off the bench when the foul situation was getting murky, did you notice like he had a calmness and he made the shots when need be?
He did, and he brought the energy. If maybe Reese or Jalen needed to sit for a second, you didn't lose anything. And then, Gaporo last year in that district game against Bearden, which his technical was the difference of winning and losing that game. I hate to be
Speaking of
that way.
technicals, man.
Yes, yeah, yeah. I mean, we'll talk about that too. I
We'll
mean,
talk about that.
but Gaporo even went with the hot hand where he sat Dupree in favor of Cowan to
Mm-hmm.
make sure that
Mm-hmm.
Bearden's perimeter was held in check, and that's facts that happened there. So, want to give it. Larry Frank said, "You Talk presents Real Talk every other Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern, beginning next Monday, hosted by myself and Miss Shy Blue." Thanks, guys. Hey, brother,
No
you've
problem,
shown
man.
us so much support and
Shout
love.
out to
We
my
want to give
man,
you the
Larry
support
Frank.
and love back, baby. So you bet.
So now we got Nelson and Cowan.
Yep.
Nelson and Cowan. The third part of this adversity, you get Reese Clark tearing the meniscus. Then now it's an ACL injury.
Yeah.
And Reese Clark was really, really, really on his way to a lot of college coaches. College coaches rave about Reese Clark, and the college coaches that I've talked to. And I told him as soon as he's cleared, we're hitting this gym harder than ever.
And you need to. He's a special talent. I loved watching him play, and there was such a presence about him. And he's a problem that you have to have almost two guys, and that takes away that somebody's open. And then when you don't have somebody like that two pair, I mean, everybody's covered. That you focus on Devin.
Yeah.
You focus on Devin because he's the
Mm-hmm.
focal point of what he is. So yeah, I
And,
mean
and
that's the thing. Yeah.
those guys right there. Now it's got to be. Here's where I think that they can make headway. I need Joe Dupree to shoot the ball more.
Yeah. Yeah. We
I
need Joe
need
Dupree from last year because Joe Dupree last year was killing it. And he was a starter. He started when Dane was out with the hand injury and
mhm.
really contributed. So, I mean,
Like I need Joe Dupree to shoot the ball more. I need Robert Schuler to shoot the ball more. Like, and I'm okay with them taking these shots because here's why. When they're in rhythm, when Garrett Birch is in rhythm, it becomes a domino effect of our post play. If our outside game is where it needs to be. Now, Kevin and Devin got to receive their touches.
and they got to
We have
finish. And they got to
they got to
finish.
finish
Yeah.
because at the free throw line against
Hardin Valley,
Hardin
right?
Valley,
Yep.
7
And
to
let me put that up
21.
there. Let me put that up there real
But
quick.
big win tonight. Let's
Big win tonight.
yeah,
Huge
yeah,
win
yeah.
tonight.
We're
So
not all West Side Rebels. This right here was a statement win.
yes, it was.
That
Yes, it
was a
was.
statement win.
Especially a team that swept you last year. And
That is a
really,
statement win.
yes. Yeah. I mean, Maryville beat West 3 times last year, two pair. And we owed them one tonight, and we got it done at their place. Now, they're going to be pissed off when the return trip happens in a couple weeks. So,
But I feel like when teams play us at home, they get a little bit more juiced.
They do. I think it's you, man. I think you really amp up the other team as well. That's what you make a basketball game unbelievable when you're on the mic, honestly. And I'm not just saying that because you're my brother. I'm just saying
Right.
that.
I
Uh,
appreciate that.
hey, when we're at
I
that Bearden
appreciate that.
game next week, that guy's gonna put us to sleep with whoever. Devin Martin 2 points. I mean, no, man. I mean, you bring it, man. I mean, that's the difference between going to
I
the game
think
with
he does a
Bearden.
good job though. It's just my
He
thing
ain't you.
is
He ain't you, baby. He ain't.
whenever there's a game, whenever there's a game, I want you this is what I want you to do for a second. Everybody out there. Like close your eyes when I'm announcing the game. Because I'm announcing the game as if a blind man is listening to it.
I like that.
I want to give you every little inch detail about what you're watching, when it's happening, how it's happening, the reason why it happened going forward. Because I look at like Bob Kesslin, I look at John Ward, and I was listening to John Ward. I was listening to Bob Kesslin, Bert Bertelkamp, going
Mm.
through those type of broadcasting things to where I want to paint you and illustrate you a picture of how the game should be played, and I want to emphasize the highlights of it to juice the game because I want the visiting team to be just as amped to beat us at home as I'm hyping up the home team because I'm the guy at the park who's not playing, who's old, who's telling everybody, "Hey, look, my guy's right here. We're gonna win." Oh, he stole your cookies and had milk too. You know what I'm saying? Like stuff like that.
Tuper, one thing I need to also, you just brought something up, and I didn't make a banner for it, but we will definitely, as we get more details. I'm proud to announce that they've got the alumni game figured out on the March 29th. They found a gym, and
Oh,
now they're
sweet.
requesting people. I saw it on Facebook. So they're
Okay.
requesting people of who want to play and who wants to
Okay.
participate. They're asking former cheerleaders, just to, they found the gym in the
Shout out to my
venue.
man Caleb Berry, Sean. Let me get Sean.
Hmm.
Let me see who else. Devonis Clark. I gotta get all those guys because I think you know what I'm saying. They'll be Devin Jackson,
Hmm.
Carson Brooks, Calvin Walker, just to name some guys that really Bubba. Well, I don't know if any of the 2000 guys are gonna be
Well,
playing.
well, can I say this much? Can I say this much?
Mm,
We've got to do a Rebels with a Cause like live game day show from that alumni game
oh man, we
just to
need
get
to.
some interviews. Honestly, it'd be
I'm down.
amazing. So
I'm
yeah,
down.
for
I'm
sure.
down. Well, we're gonna have to be there the whole day. So
We will be.
we're
We will
yeah,
be. So
I
it'd be
think
fun.
it's at Emerald. It'll be at Emerald Avenue.
It'll be at Emerald.
That's
Well, and what
I
is the
wish it
29th?
were at
Is that a
West.
Saturday? So I mean, we
It
might be able to do
may.
it.
It
We might.
may. It
Yeah,
yeah, because we were trying to do it when Pellissippi and West aren't playing. Shout out
aren't
to
playing.
Shauna McKinney, class of '95. She graduated with my sister. Um, I, it's one of my favorite classes, class of '95. You know what I'm saying? Big shout out to Shauna McKinney. Her daughter played at West. Um, great ball player, great ball player.
That's
So
cool.
yeah, man.
That's so cool. That's so cool. I did want to talk one thing about the Hardin Valley game the other night. The title of this show. Oh, real quick, Larry Frank and you talk are actually having Nevin Shapiro, the whistleblower of Miami. Yeah,
How the hell did they get
they
Nevin?
got him. And if you want to tune into you talk on Friday
How the
night.
hell did y'all get Nevin
They got him.
Shapiro?
They got him, and he's going to tell the whole story. I can't even listen live because I've got something going on Friday night, but I'm going to be
You
watching the
watching that?
recording. I'm going to watch the record on the way home. It'll entertain me on the way home. But 8 o'clock, I believe 8 o'clock, you talk on YouTube to see Nevin Shapiro on their show. So I wanted to give him the dap on that. But back to the game on Friday. the title of this show, and I like to always have titles for our episodes of what's going on. And, I feel that was a humbling loss because it was the third home loss of the year. And the thing is that you missed 14 free throws. If you make nine of those 14, you win by 1 point. I don't know how the refs were calling the game. I don't know if Hardin Valley was letting the air out of the ball and trying to hold the ball and try to slow the game down. And West
Mm,
just didn't. I mean, I wasn't there, unfortunately. But my point is that I wish that we would play to the level of our competition,
absolutely.
and be better. That's the
Absolutely.
thing, because we know what they're capable of. We would never lie to
Hmm.
them, but we know what they're capable of, and we want what's best for them, because this is an opportunity to be the first West team to be district champs since 2000. This is the first team that could win the region from 2012, and you could be the first ever to maybe win state. Only one other team has been to state, and that was the 2011 group. Rest in peace, Tukey. But I'm just
Rest in
saying,
peace, Tukey.
that you could break some ground here, and this is it. There is no tomorrow. There is not next year for these seniors. It's a shame that Mike and Chris couldn't be along for the ride. It's a shame that Reese got hurt, and I know he's dying to be out there. But the rest of you, need to bound together and get it done. Is what I'm trying to preach. And it looks like tonight you took a great first step, beating Maryville. I mean, that's huge to do. But you can take
Hmm.
another one by taking care of business on Friday against William Blount, who maybe isn't the same William Blount from last year, but they still are the defending district tournament champs, if I'm not mistaken. So beat them.
Right.
And then
Right.
Tuesday, you got some serious business Tuesday against Bearden. And I hope that on Wednesday, we're talking about how we avenged that game and beat them. And now there's a possibility that we can still maybe tie them for that regular season championship. Right now we're 2 games behind them with the loss to Hardin Valley. We cannot lose anymore, and hopefully, maybe Maryville can trip them up in the return game, or Farragut. But right now, Bearden's in the driver's seat for that 1 seed, and you want that
They
one.
are.
You need that 1 or 2 seed so you can have that first round bye. That's what you need. More than anything, so we've got to keep it going, and there is no there's not a game you can drop off. I mean, that's just what I'm trying to preach more than anything. So
I think you really preaching to the choir, and trust me, I'm all with you, and I'm all for it.
yeah, but you
Because
got to be smart. You can't do technical fouls. You cannot let the refs dictate the game. Play defense with your feet. Adapt. Listen to
oh
your coach.
wow,
So
yeah, because like the William Blunt game is going is it for me, like our home games have been such to the thing where this is what I'm trying to understand. I want to understand this. Like our fans are great,
yeah.
but it felt as if there weren't. It was the first game back to school, and it
Uh huh.
just it. I don't know what was wrong with the energy in the building.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It was
Yeah.
just like it didn't start the dawn on to the fans until we were down late against Hardin Valley, and
Hmm.
we just shot bad. Like,
Yeah.
man, we shot so bad. The technical foul, the lapses on defense. It was a horrible night. So it
Hmm.
like, but I told Coach Romero, who's our athletic director, I said there are lessons to be learned from each loss, and winners have to find those lessons.
Yeah.
Because you're
Yeah.
not a winner if you don't find the lesson on how you lost.
You're right about that. You're right about that. I will say this. So, can the humbling loss lead to glory? It can. It
It
can.
can.
We could
Again,
look back and look. Here's a segue for you. Here's a segue for you. What about
segue.
the champs last night? Because they're the champs. I hate them, but they won. They were
How in the
chumps.
world?
They were chumps 2
Is that
months ago,
5?
the day after
5
Thanksgiving.
national
I
titles?
think they are up to 5 now, but
That's
because they won a lot
that's their
during the
what's the
Woody
fifth
Hayes
coach?
era.
It's
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 the
the fifth
5th
coach
coach,
season.
yeah, so, yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm just, yeah, um
Damn. Fucking Ohio State.
yeah, I mean, but they were chumps. They looked like dog shit against Michigan. Absolute dog shit. And that was what was needed for them to go on a run, and just Tennessee happened to be in their way to be
So they
mowed over.
backdoor a
The
championship.
backdoor championship, man.
They
And
won a
here's the other thing too.
backdoor
And,
championship.
and here's the other thing too. You could have been on that committee, two pair, and said this Michigan loss is inexcusable. This is a Michigan team that's had 5 losses that Texas absolutely annihilated. Why are we putting a 4th team from the Big Ten in? Why? What? I mean, you could have literally said that. You know, I'm just saying you
And
penalized
then they became
Miami.
the best team in the country.
Yes, and you penalized Miami for losing to Georgia Tech and Syracuse, or you penalized Ole Miss for losing to the Gators.
Which when you think about it,
Yes.
think about Alabama too.
Alabama too. Ole Miss. You penalized those teams for their bad losses to Oklahoma, to the Gators. I'm putting them
Rightfully so.
all. I'm putting them
Rightfully
all on an
so.
even keel. But these bastards made the most of their opportunity. But it was such a terrible loss. I don't care it was a rivalry game. You were at home. This was supposed to be the ass kicking you were supposed to give Michigan, and you still haven't beaten them since before COVID. That's the
Yeah.
crazy thing. Desmond Howard
Yeah.
has that bragging rights. Now I need to ask you this, two pair, because you got to give Ohio State props on this. They did not take Michigan winning that national championship last year lying down. They bought coaches from other teams to bring them in as coordinators.
Yep.
They got
They
players
got
from
Chip Kelly.
They got
They
Chip
got
Kelly.
fucking
Yes.
Chip
They
Kelly.
took Julian Sayin, who was supposed to be the next great Alabama quarterback, and he was 3rd fucking string this year, man. Honestly. I'm just saying that it's just nuts to me. It's just
It
nuts to
is.
me. And they won. They and then they come back.
Judkins
$20
went
million
crazy.
and wins it. Yes.
Will Howard.
Will Howard.
Kansas State
Will
and is a
Howard.
national champion quarterback.
Yes, yes.
He's won the Big 12 and he's won a national title.
Yes, dude, they took Jeremiah Smith from Miami's backyard and he was their best wide receiver. I mean, I can go on and on. They did it with, listen to this, 2 of their best offensive linemen, 2 pair, tore their ACLs and were out by mid-season, and they did it with a makeshift offensive line. Their running backs, who had done nothing all year, just went nuts in the playoffs, catching the ball out of the backfield. So, yeah.
I just don't get it. I don't freaking get it.
Larry Frank says it right here and brings it. And when Ryan Day loses to Michigan again, they'll want him gone again. You're right. You're absolutely right.
Here. Let me tell you what just happened.
That too. South Carolina.
Let me tell you. You know what Ryan Day just did? Ryan Day and his football team said, you know what? After that, you see the distraught look on his face after the Michigan when they tear the flag. They're trying to plant the flag.
Mm-hmm. There's a fight breaking out. People are getting pepper sprayed. Yes.
But you know what? That was the turning point in their season.
It's true. It's true.
It turned them into the national champions of college football. In a sad, sick world, the team that didn't even win their own conference won the national title.
Yep. Yeah. Not
the
only
world we
that.
live in.
Yeah,
welcome
not
to
only
NIL
that.
Football.
Yep. Welcome to NIL football. And that's what it's going to come down to. It's going to come down to the fact is who wants to spend the most money. And here's the thing. Your evaluations are going to be what is the big key, because you just can't be throwing endless amounts of cash around, because we've seen plenty of players get overpaid that did absolutely nothing.
DJ Ugu Wagalaga.
Yeah.
Nah, DJ Ugale.
Ugalungale.
Uyungale.
Yeah.
DJ Uyungale?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, that's how you say it.
Uyungale.
Yeah.
Uyungale.
Yeah.
Ooh or ooh we. I don't know.
Yeah. DJU.
DJU.
Yeah.
DJU.
Yeah.
Who's coming back for another season of college?
Can you imagine? I mean,
why?
I don't know.
Why?
I don't
Why?
know.
You know, CJ Stroud will be in his third year, and DJ Uiagalelei will still be in college football.
Yes. Oh,
That's
yes.
sad. That is
It is
very
sad.
sad.
It is. It really
Like
is
that is
sad.
very
So,
sad
yeah.
because at one time, this was the best quarterback in America.
Yeah.
This guy, watch him win the Heisman next year.
Oh, you never. Well. Here's the other thing too. Miami paid $4 million for Carson Beck, and I know how Larry Frank feels about Carson Beck. I mean, I don't think he's very good, but if you saw what was on Miami's roster, you went from from 4-8 to 8-4 just by adding Carson Beck with that schedule next year for Miami. Miami starts off with Notre Dame and the Gators in the first month of football. By the
You know
way.
what? That Florida Gator team got scary after Miami waxed them.
That's what I'm saying. Like, and there's
You
something
guys
about
did
that.
this.
We
You
did
guys did
well.
this.
I'm gonna throw this out there.
You
I'm gonna throw
guys
this out there.
waxed them, and
Well,
then they decided they wanted to get Florida back because you guys took over the state of Florida.
I will
I
say
blame
this.
this on my.
You can blame Miami, but you can also blame Tennessee for knocking out
Yes,
the
yes,
quarterback
yes.
because Lagway wouldn't have gotten all the they gotten better,
All the reps.
So
Lagway almost beat them in Neyland Stadium.
I know, with
What
a
if
backup
D if
running
D
back, with a backup
if
running
DJ
back.
Lagway beats Tennessee in Knoxville? Think of how ugly this season would have gotten.
You're right.
If you don't beat Florida or Alabama when they're down, apparently. You know what I'm saying? I don't
Yeah.
think Alabama's down. It just they had a microcosm of a season of Saban guys not wanting to be DeBoer guys.
Yeah, it's true. It's
Like
true.
the Saban guys didn't want to be DeBoer guys. DeBoer guys are like, well, this isn't the Saban, this is Alabama. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
they're not really saying that because they're DeBoer guys who are going to Alabama. It's a difference because there's a bunch of Saban guys playing for DeBoer who only came to Alabama to play for Saban. And put that in your pipe and smoke it.
That's right. That's exactly right. Yeah. Next year's going to be interesting. I know we wanted to keep it at an hour. We've pretty much touched on everything. I do want to just touch
What are
on
we
this very
missing? What are
quickly.
we missing?
We got some picks to make. Got some
Oh
picks
yeah,
to
we
make. So
we, we, can,
yeah,
we can do five more minutes
we can
for
do
the
5 more minutes.
playoffs. Yeah,
I'm
we
going
can
to
do
tell you
5 more minutes.
this. Whatever. Okay, so let's talk about this because Shane O'Mac, we were talking about it last week. The Taylor Swift effect. The Texans absolutely got hosed last Saturday. Okay,
You think
and
so?
I think so. And here's the other thing too, man. I was literally
Or they did
watching
not take it?
They're still not ready. The Texans are still
They
not ready,
led in every phase of the game.
but they're
Look,
not ready to. But that's the point.
you know, a team that is led in every phase of the game was 49-0 until Saturday.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
They outgained. They outgained them. They didn't have any turnovers. And for this stat to be available everywhere in the world, and you still freaking lost? How?
Yeah.
How?
I don't get it. I don't get it. So yeah. I don't get it. I mean, here's the other thing too. I'm watching the Ravens Bills game. I'm
Mm,
watching the other games, and you know what I'm doing too, Pair? I'm not rooting for who I want to win. I'm rooting for who is the best chance to prevent this three-peat from happening.
you do not want to see this. You don't want to see a three-peat.
I don't. Not with them.
Why? What is it with I like them?
I
You
don't
don't
know.
want to see. You don't want to
I
see
don't
what
know.
is it that
Because
annoying? Is it Taylor Swift? Is it the
I think
Taylor
it's her.
Swift effect?
I think if it
It's the Taylor
wasn't
Swift
her,
effect.
yeah, it's her. I think it's her.
Okay.
Because here's the thing. I
She
didn't.
found her way to
Yeah,
get. She's already popular enough in music, but
yeah,
now you're taking away what we like to watch,
yeah.
which is football.
hmm
And
I don't need to see her. I don't.
I, yeah, and you know what was cool when when Travis Kelce was dating a black woman, they weren't putting her on the screen like
And she
that.
was a beautiful woman. She's babe.
She was a beautiful woman,
That's a real woman right there, in my opinion. So shoot,
but when it's Taylor
nerves kicking.
Swift, like this is America's favorite everything.
Oh,
Like she's almost it's like it can't get no more
yeah,
than
yeah,
that.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
it's just in your face all the
yeah.
time. Like it get to the point like, bruh, I've already got to listen to her music. Now you're putting her in my face on the Sunday afternoon with Travis Kelsey's brother having his shirt off, drinking a beer, pounding one in the snow. I don't
Yeah.
want it.
Larry Frank says the three-peat's happening, Stallion. Ref's on the payroll, and Taylor Swift is an unofficial Chiefs board member. So, hey, Larry, you missed it last week.
Crazy,
Swift looks like a surfboard. Man, we were hating on
man.
skinny women last week, man. We want them big, nice curves, beautiful.
Oh
That's what
man,
we
he
talking
said we need
about.
to.
Shout out to Daisy.
He
Daisy.
said he said he said the Bucks and beauties.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah,
my
yeah.
goodness.
I'm telling you, no,
Hey,
man.
hey, this does not reflect West High. This is after
Hey, this is
11
Rebels
o'clock.
After Dark. We're after
Yeah, this
11
is real.
o'clock.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
even dropped an
yeah.
F bomb. I
Yeah,
apologize.
sorry.
So,
All right, our apologies. After 11 o'clock, this is when grown folks are talking.
this is it.
And
You're
and
in
and,
bed
and
getting
let me
ready for
tell you something. Let me
exams.
tell all y'all something. When some of your favorite teachers who now you're on a personal level with that you can call them by their first name, they curse too. We're human. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
We're not cursing at your kids.
No, no, no. I'm just,
These things we curse about.
hey, be glad Kelsey isn't dating Sexy Red. So,
Right, right.
yeah.
I'm a lot. Hey, now
Maybe I
that
might want to go in the
Glorilla.
three-peat. I don't
Now Glorilla. If he was dating Glorilla,
know.
but that wouldn't work because Glorilla is a Steelers fan. So no,
Yeah, no, that, yeah, yeah.
that
Well,
wouldn't work.
I'm just gonna say this. I'm watching the Ravens and the Bills. Great game.
Yeah,
I hate it that Andrews dropped that ball, but realistically, I
the
actually give Lamar
fumble,
Jackson
the
credit. Yeah,
fumble.
the fumble was worse. The fumble was absolutely worse. I give Lamar Jackson credit because he air sailed one, and I'm like, who are you throwing to? And the Bills got points off of that interception. Like they went down and scored. That game was entertaining. I could not believe what the Commanders did to the Lions, man. I mean,
The Lions did that to
Jaden
themselves.
Daniels is the truth, man. This kid.
Jared
Oh,
Goff, that was one of his work. Jared Goff had played so well.
yeah.
It was just, what it felt like with Jared Goff? Didn't it feel kind of like the way he played with the Rams when he got to the Super Bowl and then he just didn't get the, I think that's going to be the microcosm of him as a quarterback.
Hmm. Yeah, and
Like
he's
Jared
more
Goff is
successful.
damn good.
Yeah,
He's
he's more
damn good.
successful than Carson Wentz because remember there was always the talk of who was. There's always that talk of the quarterbacks, this last year. I mean, you had 5 or 6 to choose from, and this year it's going to be who
Jared
is
Goff put up numbers this year though.
Goff
He
put up
he
numbers.
was
Yeah, and like in this
Goff,
year's draft,
Darnold.
you're going to talk about people.
Um,
So yeah,
but I feel like in this year's playoffs, when we saw Darnold and when we saw Goff and Goff, you had a week off. You're the number one seed at home,
hmm,
and then the play calling showed why you wanted to go to Chicago.
hmm, yep.
If you weren't going to try to, if you weren't going to try to win, if that was your best play call to win a game to have a chance to get to a Super Bowl, like that utterly showed he was ready to leave.
I agree with that. I'll give you another game I want to talk about. The Eagles in the snow. You know, I'm going to tell you this. Saquon Barkley, he put them on his back and led
Yeah.
them. I mean, and I know
If this
Larry
was
loved
any
watching
other
the
year, he
Ravens
would be
lose.
the MVP.
Yeah.
If it
Oh,
was
yeah,
any other
you're
year,
right.
he's the MVP.
You're right. You're right. And I
If
know that.
this if Lamar and Josh Allen aren't doing what they're doing, He's
Yeah.
the MVP.
Oh, without a
He
doubt.
got my vote.
Well,
He got
and
my vote.
realistically, he
I'm on to talk to
probably,
you like Shannon Sharp. He got
yeah,
my
yeah.
vote. He got
Well,
my vote, Skip. He got my vote, Skip.
and the thing
Yeah.
is this, they were talking about the rushing record with Dickerson. There was one less game. There
Mm-hmm.
was all that. I mean, let me tell you something. 2,000 damn yards is 2,000 damn yards. I don't care what era, how many
Mm-hmm.
games. When you put 2,000 yards, man, that's a lot of yards, man. And the thing is this,
You think he could have an 800-yard playoff like run?
possible, possible. I mean, I will say this
I
much.
think it could happen.
I think he can
I
too.
think
I
he
mean,
could get 800
here's the thing
if
about them.
he has enough games. If he has enough
He
games.
listen, and Michael Lynn's a huge Eagles fan. That's my boy. He's a big fan of the show. But I will say this about it: like when you look at these games, the Final Four. Now it's the Final Four.
Mm-hmm.
If I have a gun to my head, I would say the Eagles against the Chiefs, but I wouldn't be surprised if the Commanders knock off the Eagles because they've already beaten them once this year. They split the regular season. Washington won at home, Philadelphia won on the road, or Philadelphia won at home. Now they got to go back to Philadelphia. It's probably going to be cold as
Mm-hmm.
hell.
Yeah, it's
But
gonna be
I'm
cold.
just saying that, Washington right now is playing with house money. If you're a Washington fan, this is the deepest you have been since you won the Super Bowl in 1991 at this point.
Right.
You're playing with
Right.
house money right now because they've been losers for so many years. Dan
Mm-hmm.
Snyder, the
Yep.
Robert Griffin III injury, everything has gone bad for that organization. A name change, and now they are one game away from being the little Cinderella darlings in the Super Bowl. Now, I will say this. America
Dallas
was the
fans are shaking in their
Oh,
boots.
yeah. And Giants
Dallas
fans,
are shaking.
oh, yes.
Dude.
Yeah.
If think about let's play devil's advocate for a
Do it.
second since it's Rebels After Dark. Can
It
we
is.
put the disclaimer up one
Yeah, hold
time?
on one second. I'll be
Or
more than happy to, brother. Let me
let's
do
put the
that real quick.
disclaimer up one time.
Yep, here it is right here. Here it is. Look at that. So,
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Yeah,
That's
we'll leave that up.
Just-
So, go ahead.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So we just make sure we say that. So as we go back to the playoff predictions here on Rebels with a Cause, that is the Italian Stallion. I am 2 pair tape, and we throw them dubs up.
Always, baby, we throw that W up. So,
And this is Rebels Without a Cause. This is the After Dark edition. So, would be cool to
That would be
have
cool.
that would be it for all my Tecmo Super Bowl fans. That would be priceless.
That's almost like
Man, I want to get it.
that's a
That's what I'm going to
24
get
year.
tomorrow.
That would be a 24-year reunion or anniversary of that game. 24 years ago. So yeah.
Hold on, 91?
34 years
34.
ago.
Yeah.
34 years. Okay.
Yeah.
Damn. Yikes. So 34, not 24.
I got you, brother. I got
Thank
you.
you. I'm old. I'm forgetting. I got Alzheimer's.
Oh man.
No, but what were you going to say though? We got it up there. I want you to let it rip, baby. I want you to let it rip.
Dude, think about this. Eagles won their Super Bowl at 2016 around that time. 2017.
It was 17. Yeah.
Right.
No,
17.
it was 18. It was the year because remember the 17 was when the Falcons collapsed, if I'm not mistaken, wasn't it?
Oh.
See, this is why we need
Larry
Shane
Frank.
here. Shane usually has the thing. So, yeah.
Larry Frank, help us out, man.
Larry Frank, help us out. Do you remember what year was it that the Eagles beat the Patriots in that game? So
help us out, Larry Frank.
I don't know if it was
help
18
us out,
or
Larry
what.
Frank. I had a brain for it. My bad.
Yeah. No, you're good. But go ahead. But yeah, but the Eagles won theirs.
So
Eagles won
theirs, right? The Giants, they've won two.
They beat the Patriots twice, once in 07, once in 12, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah.
Right. So they've got two. When's the last time the Cowboys won? 95?
95. That's right.
95.
Yeah.
Put this in perspective. What if Washington? Check this out. I want to paint this picture. That's why I'm being devil's advocate. Washington beats Philly. right? Washington beats Philly. There we go. Thank you, Larry Frank,
Yep.
2018. I
Yep.
sweat it. Great job.
Thank you, Larry.
The Cowboys, the Cowboys have not played in an NFC conference championship since 95, right?
Yeah.
You've seen the Giants win 2 Super Bowls in that time frame. You've seen Philly win a Super Bowl in that time frame. If Washington would somehow be either Buffalo or Kansas City
With a rookie quarterback.
with
Yeah.
a rookie quarterback, and remember the last time Washington won was 91.
Yep.
So what does that say about the franchises then?
Mm.
Because Washington has already won in 87.
They no, they beat the Dolphins
The
in '82 with Joe Theismann.
Theismann, but
Yes.
they also won with Doug Williams. So they have
I think they have
Theismann,
three. Joe Gibbs was the
Williams,
coach. Yeah.
Rippon. Yeah, Theismann, Williams, and Rippon won the Super Bowls for Joe Gibbs. 3 different quarterbacks,
Yeah.
right?
Keep going. Keep going. So yeah.
So and then Dallas, they Dallas has
88.
their
You were
one.
right. 88. 88 against the
Okay.
Broncos. They won 42-10. So yep, good job. Yep.
Hey man, I still got it. Still
Yep.
got it.
Yep.
But think about that. With those 3 Super Bowls, 3 of those, um, and then you're able to win a Super Bowl with Jaden Daniels, who already has more playoff wins than Romo and Dak.
Hmm. Yep. And you're looking for a new coach. Another coach. How many coaches is that since Switzer? Honestly.
Since Johnson.
Yeah. Yeah, because Barry won the '95 one. Barry
Barry
Switzer
won
won
the
the '95,
95 though. You're
but
right.
he
You're
did it
right
with
there.
Jimmy's players, though. Pretty much. I
See what I'm
mean,
saying?
yeah, you're right. You're right about that. Yeah. So, well, I mean, I just cannot believe, and look at all the money that the Cowboys have put into this for players,
Yeah.
for
They
coaches,
put in
a
some
new
good they put in a lot
stadium.
of
I mean, yeah. So, hey, look at Larry Frank. Hire Mike Tom. Well, let me
man, that
ask
would
you
be
guys this. Let me
crazy.
ask you this: I- is there a possibility that
Mm.
Dion goes to the Cowboys? Is that a possibility? I mean,
I
you
think
know,
they're flirting with it, but I
he's
think
got it made
Dion
at
really
Colorado. I mean, he's got
yeah,
it
he
made at
does.
Colorado. He's got a
Like
five-star quarterback
I
coming
don't think
in.
he
I
would
mean,
leave. He's not
yeah.
leaving. I feel like what he's doing at Colorado,
Hmm.
he's gonna. Here's what Dion for Colorado has made it so damn cool to like Colorado. It feels like the '90s.
Yeah. Yeah.
But he's did it in a way where he's charismatic that he leaves his imprint on the football team. They
Hmm.
they say the best team is a reflection of their coach. And man, when I say that team is a reflection of it, like the swagger, the bravado, the the in your faceness, like that's why you love Prime. Like I feel like he's one of the greatest football players I've ever seen lace it up. And if you not loving what you're seeing on that football field with what they're bringing to the table, I don't think he leaves that. I don't think he goes to the he goes to the pros if it's a situation that's best for him and his family.
You're
I
right.
think he looks at it in that aspect.
You're right about that. You know, Larry can chime in on this, and maybe you can too. I know that you like North Carolina basketball, and you're not like Tar Heel football. But is it true? And maybe I just saw this as maybe it's one of those like fake stories you see or whatever. Is it
Mm-hmm.
true that Belichick hasn't signed the contract yet at
Has
North
not signed.
Carolina? So,
Has not
so is
signed.
there a possibility Jerry throws Belichick the cow? I mean, I'm just throwing this out there right now. So
I mean, he did it with Parcells. Like if
he
he
did.
does it with if he does like but you know who he's gonna ask first about it? He's
Who?
gonna ask Parcells.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Or let me ask you this: has Rex Ryan been on their sidelines? Because I've heard that name again, Rex Ryan.
I feel like Rex Ryan needs the Jets job. I feel
Yeah.
like give him his. He should have never got fired in the first
Oh,
place.
they were so stupid. I mean, he brought so much excitement that hadn't been there since Joe Namath played there. Honestly,
It's just they ran up against some of the best teams in the AFC. They ran up against the
Patriots were in
Steelers.
their the Patriots were in their heyday. I mean, they were,
I
but
mean,
they were
dude, they weren't gonna
losing.
beat those Steeler teams. They were not gonna beat those
No,
Steeler
no, they weren't going to beat them. I mean,
teams.
you still had the Broncos
Steeler teams
that
were
were still doing
loaded on
pretty
defense.
decent. The Broncos
Hmm.
were doing decent. I mean, with Peyton on his decline, I'm just no. I mean, they were stupid
No,
to do that. So
yeah,
yeah.
dude. Like Rex Ryan,
I mean, they had the
I feel
Hard
like
Knock show for a bit. I mean, they really
I feel
did.
like Rex Ryan definitely needs to be the name that the Jets go with.
Yeah,
And as soon as that happens, he needs to hire Rob Ryan as his defensive coordinator.
yeah. This is true. This
But
is true.
like,
I'm just curious of who the Dallas. I mean, and you're right, man. No, this is a really good segment from a standpoint that the Cowboys are supposed to be America's team. All this puff, Stephen A. mocks them all the damn time, and it's just like you could. This could be your worst nightmare as a Dallas
dude,
Cowboys
they
fan.
are hoping the Philadelphia Eagles win this game. They
And
do
then the
not
Chiefs take care of business on the Super Bowl or whatever like that.
they
Yeah,
do not want to hear this. And
yeah.
in Philly, what sucks is I want to see Philly win a championship with Saquon. I really do.
Uh-huh. Might
I
happen this year.
really do.
Might happen.
But Jalen Hurts has got to play a near perfect Super Bowl again.
Yeah, yeah. And Devonta Smith needs to step it up. He is not anywhere near
Devontae
Devonta
Smith.
Smith. He has not been anywhere near the player I thought he would be. The one that was dominating college football for 3 years when he played, man, honestly. I always felt he was the best of Judy, Ruggs, and that group, Jalen
Yeah,
Waddell.
I think he is, but I
But
just here I don't think look at when Devontae played his best. He didn't play his best with Jalen Hurts. He played his best with Tua Tagovailoa.
you're right. Yeah. And Mac Jones of all people too. So yeah, when Mac Jones was Alabama's quarterback. So
So it's not saying anything bad about Jalen Hurts, but look at it. Notice, check Devontae Smith. Go through. Here's what I'm gonna say. Go through the tape. Watch Jalen Hurts and Devontae Smith, and see the little intricacies of their pass pattern, and then go look at Mac Jones, and then go look at what he's able to do with Tua Tagovailoa.
yeah.
You'll
Yeah.
see the difference.
You
You'll
will.
see a complete
You're
difference.
definitely right about that. So, well, all right. So let's do this real quick. Um, we got 4 games to pick, or 3 games to pick rather. NFL playoff championship, Washington, Philadelphia. What do you think?
Washington, Philadelphia. I like Philadelphia, but there's fans in the world, and they mostly reside in Dallas, Texas, who, if they see the Washington Commanders win a Super Bowl before they get back to one, it
Oof,
is going to be a cold day in hell.
I agree with that. I agree with that.
It is
So,
going to be a really cold day in hell.
yeah. I think that the Commanders are going to put up a hell of a fight.
They
I
are.
would not be shocked if they won, but I got to go with Saquon. That's a man on a mission right there. I think the
Yeah.
Eagles get back to the Super Bowl. I really do.
I feel like Saquon. I feel like Saquon is proving so much to the New York Giants.
Hmm. Yeah.
Like, I wanted to be here. Like, he was New York.
And they
You know
let
what
him
I'm
leave.
saying? Like,
And they let him leave,
they
man.
let him
Um,
leave because they
that,
didn't
that's
want
a
to pay him.
that's a horrible organization right now, and I still, for the life of me, can't believe that they won 2 Super Bowls against those Patriot teams. Honestly, realistically. So yeah. As far as the Chiefs-Bills game goes, do you know why I think that the Bills can't win that game?
What is
Because
it?
I don't believe in the Bills' running game. I think that the Chiefs are going to basically make the Bills try to win it on the ground. I think they're just going to bait Allen into throwing interceptions. Um, I think the Bills are due to win, but the problem is that if the game was in Buffalo, I got the Bills, but it's in Kansas City, and I just think that the Chiefs are going to be too much for the Bills. But I think it'll still be a fun game to watch. I really believe that. So I think that it's going to be a rematch from the Super Bowl a couple years ago, Philadelphia and Kansas City, when the dust settles around 10 o'clock Sunday night. So yeah,
I think them dudes. I really do think Kansas City is gonna win.
yeah.
Uh, I think Kansas City is trying to really go for this three-peat. Like,
Maybe I'm mad because we didn't get our three-peat, damn it. Maybe that's why I'm hating. Maybe that's the truth. So maybe,
oh
I don't know.
man,
Wouldn't it be nice to have a third ball back here? Honestly, like, could you imagine? I would have done that picture too. You know, I would have had all three balls right there.
dang, that'd have been wild to
Yeah.
see
It's
three of
sitting in
those.
Sevier County's locker
But
room,
you know
man.
what,
Damn.
man?
So,
Too, I think you know what I'm saying. I think as fans, man, we can become sometimes yet greedy with
yeah.
being the best of the best. Like
Yeah.
those kids work their tail off, man.
They
Like
did. They did.
you know what I mean? Like when we really think about it, like I'm not gonna lie, watching this season was kind of like Hard Knocks
It was.
because if you watch every episode and just from spring football to uh fall practice, the scrimmages.
Mm-hmm.
Like, think about this. Like, we went on the road. We went on the road for the first game of the season.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep.
Like,
And
there's
the scrimmages leading up to that first game,
the
honestly.
Catholic scrimmage. Like,
Yes.
I
We
was
were
thinking
partying
about
with the
that.
deacon. So
I was thinking about that, man. Like, we and look at the all state guys.
I know. I
Look at
know.
the all state football players that we had on that
Yep.
defense.
Yep. Yep.
Like two all state players.
Jack Keith and Antoine Bourdin. Shout out to both of them. So, yep.
You know
Yep.
what I'm saying? We even had the defensive back of the year
Yep.
playing for you know what I'm saying, our school.
And he's
Like,
also the record holder for punt return yards and in interceptions in a season. So,
and
yeah.
we also had the running back of the year in the region.
Mm-hmm.
We had the defensive back of the region.
Mm-hmm.
We had uh the offensive assistant of the region and
Mm-hmm.
Coach Ellerby.
Yep. And then Lamar,
Like,
who was the head coach. So,
head
yes. Yeah.
coach.
Yep.
That
Yep.
you see the standard of excellence.
Oh, without a doubt.
It's a
Without a doubt.
standard. And who's the best athletic director
Oh, Mr.
in
Paul Romero.
Paul Romero?
Yep. Yep.
Like
Mr.
the
Paul Romero.
faculty, Dr. Speeds, like
Yeah. Mr. Carruthers. Yeah.
they make you want it. Nate
Yes.
Martin,
Nate.
Principal Forrester. We
Yep.
have the best faculty.
Yeah. No, they
Uh,
have, and then the ones that you
by
lose,
far.
they become principals at other schools, like we've lost over the last few years. So yeah,
Yeah, we
West
really
is
do have the
best,
best
baby. West
principals,
is
man.
best. They're all rebels with a cause. Last thing, Tennessee at Auburn. Can the Vols knock
Yes,
off #1? So I think it's
yes.
happening, especially if Broom don't play.
It
I got Tennessee beating Auburn on
it
Saturday night.
gives
So
you Tennessee Memphis.
it
It
does.
gives you that feeling.
Yep.
Like I
Yep.
feel like Chaz Lanier has got something to prove.
Yeah. Yeah. And
I
I
think I
think
think
that
Cha-
I think Rick can outcoach Pearl too. I believe that. I believe that.
oh
I think
yeah.
Rick can
Rick
outcoach
can
Pearl.
out coach Pearl's a master motivator.
That's what he is. Yeah.
And one thing I will say, shout out to Stephen Pearl, West High alum, class
Hmm.
of '06.
Technically, yeah, technically is one season, but he's an alum. So yeah,
They do get after it.
yeah, yeah. And
That's
they
one thing
recruit.
about
They get some great players over there, and they do develop. They do develop players. So
yeah.
yeah.
And one thing I will say about Bruce is Bruce can sell a university and he can market a university like none other.
It's true. It's true.
And he markets that university.
Yeah. Yeah. Great show tonight, man. Honestly, I can't say enough. And thank you for. We should be back. And now that once the traveling's done with me, we will be back to our normal time of Wednesday night. 9:30, and hopefully we'll be talking about a couple of victories for West over William Blount and Bearden, respectively, man. But I want to throw up that W and two pair close us out, baby, like you always do every show. Rebels with a cause, man. Rebels with a cause.
Man, love, peace, and chicken grease. This is Rebel with a Cause where you better throw your dubs up if you're a winner.
Damn right. Yeah. Love each other out there. Stay warm, guys. Go Rebels.